Hi, everyone.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome to Positive Living with Crystal and Celeste, Positive Life Talks, Day 6, Relationships.
Day 6. So our quote of today, we'll get right into it, relationships. So we chose this quote, or we thought it would be fitting in the mood. It says, we are sometimes deceived and blindly by imitational things in our life because we are too impatient to wait for the real thing. I'll read that one more time. We are sometimes deceived and blinded by imitational things in our life because we are too impatient to wait for the real thing. That was written by Crystal Marie. So the commentary that we wrote, we live in a society of convenience or right now generation. Instant gratification is often looked for in relationships. We need to feel the false sense of happiness at whatever cost. Sometimes individuals will put up with a toxic, unhealthy relationship because they don't want to be alone, deceiving themselves. We find ourselves making excuses for our unhealthy relationship. We have turned irrational thoughts into rational, unhealthy thoughts in our minds. I like to use the term pretending. Pretending that you have a really healthy relationship because you can't accept the fact that the person you are with may not be the one. So with patience comes the real thing. That was our commentary about that. So this is Celeste over here.
Wow, I have so much to say about that. You know, when you pretend anything, especially in a relationship, like it's not helping yourself or others. You know, especially if you have kids. I don't know, probably a little harder on women than I am on men when it comes to unhealthy relationships. Because if you have children, especially daughters, like they're watching you, you know. And is that the type of relationship that you want them to have? You know, if you look back like generation after generations, there are unhealthy relationships within families, domestic violence, let's just keep it real, you know, that's like an ongoing thing, you know, their mom and their mom's mom was in relationships like that. And sometimes they're not always the victim either. They're like the abuser. Yeah. So, you know, it just doesn't help you to pretend. You know, if you need help in your relationship, get the help. There are relationship experts, there are relationship couples counseling. I've, you know, had to do it. And it's not a bad thing, you know, even when your relationship is healthy, it's still good to go and, you know, seek counsel.
Yeah, just like you said, Celeste, asking for help. And just because, you know, you go to counseling or go to someone to discuss your relationship doesn't necessarily mean it's toxic at this point. You know, maybe you want to just enhance it to maintain a healthy relationship. Because I always tell, you know, everyone, relationship takes intentional work.
Right.
You know, just like we work out at the gym and we work out to stay in shape and eat healthy, it's the same thing with maintaining your relationship. So if you want to have a healthy one, you have to look at what does that look like for you. Right. And sometimes we deceive ourselves by saying, you know, oh, well, it's not that bad. And really, it may be not healthy for us. It is bad, you know, if we look at it on paper. So when I say the irrational part, you know, that's the thought that we've convinced ourselves that this must be true,
right,
you know, when it's really not.
Yeah, or even worse, making excuses for the person that you with, you know, like, do you really love yourself enough to want better? And then let's just talk about, you know, standards, you know, what type of mate that you're looking for. You don't have to lower your standard. You know, if this is the type of mate that you seek, then you wait for it. Work on yourself. Maybe it's the reason why you're still single or, you know, you're not dating. And that's okay. You know, sometimes you have to date yourself. You know?
I'm dating myself.
Yeah, and it's fun. Like, I think it's fun to date yourself, you know, to do things with yourself. Because that way, when you're in a relationship, of course you want, you know, your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever, to do those things for you. Because I'm telling you, I do things for myself all the time. And I do expect the person that I'm with to do those same things because I can do them for myself. So like, yeah, I deserve them. And I want you to do these things for me too. But I'm just a firm believer, like, you know, if I can do it for myself, you can do it for me.
That's good. You said you're teaching them how you want to be treated.
Right.
So that's a good point. I always like to express that in any session because, if it's dealing with some type of relationship issue, we teach other people how we want to be treated. So like you said, not lowering your standard, you have realistic expectations, but not to, well, let me just take this off because, we're making an excuse for why they can't do or be what that, need to be, I guess. And we can't change a person in a relationship. We can only change ourselves. So if we're teaching this person and we're a match, we're, with that other individual, then it'll work out. If it's something that's not to your standard or it violates a value in you, that's something you have to look at. The self-love. Do I love myself enough to say, hey, I deserve better?
Right. And being patient, like the quote says, things in our life because we're blinded by imitational things because we're too impatient. We live in this microwave world where we think by a certain time we're supposed to be married, we're supposed to have kids, the American
2.5 kids. I don't know where 0.5 came from.
And it's okay. Women, we're healthier, so we're having babies at 40 and 50 years old today, so you can wait, be patient. You don't have to because when you just rush and hop into things, it works out for some people. I met a couple that they got married 2 weeks after knowing each other. And at that time, they had been married 10 years. I don't know where they are today, but
let's hope that they're married.
Yeah, let's hope they're still happily married. So, that's a whole nother topic, putting times on dating and all that stuff. But, the universe, God tells you, does it feel right? Is this for me or should I wait? Like you already know the answer to your own questions. So
waiting patiently.
Yes, patiently wait.
So hopefully you take something from this. You can look at what healthy, building a healthy relationship looks like. We definitely do talks about that. You can follow us at 21 Days of Positive Living and in our journal, which we are reading from. You can purchase that. We'll definitely put the links on there. 21 Days of Positive Living journal. It's a guide for positive well-being. So we thank you for joining us on our Day 6 positive talk on relationships.
Yes. See you all back here tomorrow for Day 7.
Bye.
Bye.